Hello neighbor, I'm Robert Burns, and it was only 6 days ago today that in speaking with my good friend John Neely Kennedy, who many of you would know as the treasurer for the state of Louisiana, it was only 6 days ago today that he gave a very resounding endorsement of David Vitter for governor. And when I say resounding, I mean resounding. And I spoke with him at length shortly thereafter, and he said, Robert, you know, one of the things missing from this whole campaign is there's no fire in the belly, so to speak. And that's probably an astute observation. And so 6 days later, I'm going to do my part to contribute to that with a brief little sermonette for Senator David Vitter, gubernatorial candidate David Vitter. And let me just start out with extending my apologies to Randy Knapp's for this upcoming little short lead into the sermonette in the way of a music tribute. Don't you want to go with me and vote for Vitter? Don't you want to take our great state back? Don't you want to look at the plan that draws that line in the sand? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? Well, don't you want to go with me and vote for Vitter? Don't you want to take our great state back? Don't you want to look at the plan that draws that line in the sand? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? You can sing it with me now. Don't you want to go with me and vote for Vitter? Don't you want to take our great state back? Don't you want to look at the plan that draws that line in the sand? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? All right, now within that song, what are we talking about? The line in the sand. Well, that's going to be the purpose of the sermonette. Aren't you tired of having governors who aren't willing to stand up and boldly take a stand on something? Finally, for a change, we've got a governor who has said, I intend to implement significant tort reform. I intend to reduce the jury trial threshold down to 0 and destroy this little game that the trial lawyers are playing. And he has looked straight in the face and said, Mr. Don Carmouche, to Hades with your practice. He has looked at John Cummings and he has said, to Hades with your practice. He has looked at every other trial lawyer, Gordon McKernan. I could list them off and list them off. And he has said, I am drawing a line in the sand. You will get away with what you've gotten away with for so long. No more under my administration. That is David Bruce Vitter, and that's why the gentlemen that I have mentioned have fought him with such vigor. And let me just say one thing, as you saw on a previous video that I submitted to you, the average Louisiana insurance customer pays an additional $736 a year in insurance premiums as a result of the practices of these gentlemen and many other trial lawyers out there. David Vitter is very kind when he calls it abuse. Let's call it what it is. It's not abuse, it's downright theft. T-H-E-F-T, that's what it is. And we're laying the truth bare. And Mr. John Bel Edwards says, oh, everything is working just fine. And that's because he wouldn't even have gotten 5 steps off a home plate in running around the bases were it not for the funding of the gentleman that I've just referenced. And here's the ultimate irony. John Bel Edwards will proclaim himself as one who supports the causes of the underprivileged. And I would submit to you, I cannot tell you how many underprivileged there are who simply cannot afford automobile insurance. It's not that they want to break the law. They make economic decisions on what they can and cannot afford because their budget is limited. And so they have little choice but to roll the dice and gamble, even though they would like to obey the law and have insurance. But because of the jackbooted heel of the gentleman that I have mentioned that keeps that boot firmly planted on their necks, they can't afford it. And so they drive with no insurance, and then they get a friendly little letter from Mike Edmondson saying, now not only do you owe for the insurance, but we're hitting you with a fine. And John Bel Edwards is doing everything he can. Hear what I'm saying. John Bel Edwards is doing everything he can to assist those trial lawyers with keeping that jack-booted heel on their necks, and yet he would want to proclaim himself as a champion of the underprivileged. He is a charlatan. Make no mistake about it. Now, I've laid the truth bare. It's plain for anyone to see. I'll give you the link for the entire video that I told you about that was on a previous post with regard to exactly what this jury trial threshold is doing to the underprivileged all across this state. I want to thank you, and I want you to encourage you to join with me in going back and taking back our state, taking it away from these trial lawyers who have had their stranglehold on it for so long, by joining me and voting for Mr. David Bruce Vitter on November the 21st. Now we'll close it out with just a repeat refrain, and I want to encourage each one of you, go to the polls on November 21st. Take your state back by voting for David Bruce Vitter. Don't you want to go with me and vote for Vitter? Don't you want to take our great state back? Don't you want to look at the plan that draws that line in the sand? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? Well, don't you want to go with me and vote for Vitter? Don't you want to take our great state back? Don't you want to look at the plan that draws that line in the sand? Can't you feel the stirring in your soul? Don't you want to go? Once again, Randy, please accept my apologies.